Hey, so in this video, I'm going to be making bacon jam. I've made it many times. A little bit different in this one is that I'm now doing keto. So let's make the couple minor substitutions we need to make it keto. I got requested and asked my recipe and how I make this. So the first thing we're going to do, this is going to surprise you. The very first ingredient in bacon jam is a pound of bacon. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cook the bacon almost till done. Don't worry about it getting in crispy and stuff. It's going to cook plenty more later. But I'm just going to put it on a sheet pan, put it in the oven like 350. Check it after like 12 to 15 minutes, see where it's at. Once it gets almost done, we got some bacon grease and stuff to cook with. Then we're going to go from there. Okay, so our bacon is done. I'm going to show you kind of what it looks like. So it's not like all the way crispy, but it's cooked. And what we want to do first is we want to get the bacon out and put it into just like a pot. Okay, now we got all this extra drippings, this bacon grease. And what we want to do with this bacon grease is carefully put it in with a cup of onions and some garlic cloves. And now we want to saute this. So it's onion, garlic, mix it up a little bit. Onion, garlic, and bacon grease. 4 cloves of garlic, 1 cup of onions, 1 onion or 1 cup, it's about the same, pretty close. So we're going to saute this, and while that's working, we'll get some of our other stuff to be ready to incorporate this into. Okay, so as you can see, we got our onions and garlic simmering with the bacon grease. We got our pot here with the bacon in it. This is what we're going to do to get ready. I got some coffee from the gas station. I'll put a cup of coffee in. Feel free to use leftover coffee at home, Keurig, whatever you need. Then we're going to use 1/4 of a cup of apple cider vinegar. And that is pretty much the basics. That's where you want to start. These ingredients. And then you can kind of flavor it however you want. Most recipes you're going to find, and most people you find, do use brown sugar. So what I've got here is 1/2 cup of swerve brown sugar. So I'll put that in. Crumble it up a little bit. And then I've got some maple syrup. And I had some Lecanto, and I had Walden Farms. I've actually had the Walden Farms. I like it. I just bought this a couple days ago. Okay, so what I was saying before my phone disconnected, I got this a couple days ago. I haven't tried it yet, so I am using the Walden Farms. I am going to use 1/2 cup of maple syrup. You can adjust this based on how sweet you want it and how spicy. And then next, I got chipotle peppers and adobo sauce. This is going to carry a couple carbs. I'm only using 2 tablespoons of the sauce. Feel free to use a little bit of the actual peppers if you want. I've done it plenty of times. It all depends on how spicy you want it. But in this whole thing, we are just using a couple tablespoons of the sauce. Adding more will get it hot fast. So once we got this in, now we're going to let this cook just a little bit longer. And then we'll put this in and start reducing down our jam. Okay, so as you can see, we're starting to get some color on our onions and garlic. That's kind of the way we want it to look. We don't want to burn it. So what we'll do is we'll take this And we'll pour it in with our bacon. And this is what will become bacon jam. So I kind of turned it on medium. And what we're going to do, start it up a little bit, is we want to start to get this up to almost a boil, at least a good simmer. And then we're going to turn it down on low and let it simmer for quite a while. And get rid of a lot of this liquid. So we'll be back when this starts to cook. Okay, so you'll see here we got it simmering. You also may notice I used some kitchen scissors and cut up the bacon a little bit. It just wasn't fitting in the pot real well. Yeah, it's going to go in the food processor later anyway, so size of chunks and things don't matter too much, but it does work a little better if it's cut up. But we've got everything in there. It's simmering. What we're going to do now is just let it simmer. It's on low. And we want all that liquid, or not all of it, but a lot of this liquid. There's a lot of liquid in here. We want a lot of that liquid to go away. I've had this take 2.5 hours. I've had this take 4 hours. But every half hour, we're going to come back, check on it, stir it until it's done. And when it's done, we throw it in a food processor and we'll have bacon jam. So here's what it's looking like after about an hour. Still a good amount of liquid in it. Not nearly as much was in it to begin with. But still a good amount. Stir it up. And we will let it keep simmering down. Starting to darken up a little bit. Just a little bit more. Get a little more syrupy. That's what we're looking for. We still want to reduce some more though. Just gonna leave it on low. Let it keep cooking. Now we're getting really close. Most of what's left is the fat, I believe. I think at the next check, we're gonna be done cooking it down. All right, so here we go. It looks pretty done. We want a little bit of moisture in it so we can blend it up. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in my, turn the oven off, put it in my mixer and get it blended up. Okay, here's kind of the consistency we're blending it down to. You can drain some of the excess oil off if you'd like. Depends on if you want it or not. I'll put it in a bowl, show you better what it looks like. Okay, here's my bacon jam. Okay, so the bacon jam is done. One question I get asked a lot when I tell people about bacon jam or I make bacon jam, they will say, yeah, but what do you do with it? What do you put it on? How do you eat it? I'll tell you this, you eat it with everything. You put it on everything. See, even on my fingers. Put it on your burgers, put it on your grilled cheese, put it on your eggs. One thing that I really like is you can put it, when you make deviled eggs, you can replace a little bit of the mayonnaise with some of this, and it makes some amazing deviled eggs. Or, if you don't have anything to put it on, just eat it on a spoon. It's delicious.